friends. I'm so excited to have you here today. We are just around the corner of Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead, and I wanted to share with you how I use the tarot to connect with our ancestors during this special time of year. If you're not familiar with Day of the Dead, it's celebrated in Mexico on November 1st and 2nd. It's when we think of the veil between the world, our world and the other world, being very, very thin, and we can call upon those that have already passed on. And although death is normally seen as a very, very sad time, it can also be really joyous when we think about the wonderful times we had with those particular loved ones. So on Day of the Dead, that's what it's about. It's actually a celebration. We get to reconnect, remember all those wonderful moments. So you'll notice that on Day of the Dead, there are ofrendas, which mean altars. And we usually have pictures of our loved ones who've passed on, and we have foods that they loved, and we get to just celebrate their memory. They've done so much for us. They have walked a path so that then we can take over and run. In Mexico, you'll often see a huge celebration. There's parades, there's festivals, there's a ton of food, a lot of colors. It takes it from being scary to inviting. So today I want to show you a special spread that I do every year on Day of the Dead. It's a 5-card spread, and I like to think of it as what wisdom can we gain from our ancestral line and move forward with it. I'm going to share with you today the Ancestral Gift Spread. It's a 5-card spread. It's simple, yet very, very powerful. You don't have to have a particular ancestor in mind. You can just call upon the energies of your lineage and it will all come through. The first card I like to call the root card. This is our foundational energy or legacy that we have from our ancestors from the beginning until now that we are carrying forward. The second card I call inherited strength. And this is asking, what is the strength? What is the gift that I am receiving from my ancestors? The third card I call the inherited challenge. This is a challenge that's been passed on and something that our personal lineage, our ancestors, we've all been working towards together. And now we're at a place where we can take it on and heal from that. Which leads me into the fourth card, which is called the lesson. What are we to learn from our ancestral line? The fifth card is the healing path. And I really love ending with this card because this is the card where we ask, what gift, what lovely information would our ancestors give us in this time? So grab your deck, light a candle, get clear in your space, and meet me back here and let's do that spread together. Let's go ahead and do a sample 5-card spread. So we're going to start off with shuffling the card, putting our intentions and bringing forth any of our ancestral line energy that would be best for us, for them, and for everyone involved. So our first card is the root, which is our foundational energy. This is like the legacy from our ancestors that impacts us the most. So for this spread, we have the star. I'm using the anatomical tarot deck, which I really, really love and find really fun for the Day of the Dead. The star is interesting. It's such a beautiful card. Very quickly, there are a couple things with the star. The star happens when there's been destruction, when there's been chaos, and you're rising above it, almost like the phoenix. But this is about finding oneself, that self-care, remembering the beauty that you are actually the star. But it starts from chaos. So if we're thinking about the root, we're thinking a lot of destruction, and from there, there's opportunity to rise above it and remember the beauty that we are. Our second card is the inherited strength. Looks like we pulled the Hierophant or the Hierophant. The Hierophant is such a lovely card. It's one of our major arcana cards, and it's all about either finding the teacher to help you through the next phase of your life or recognizing that you, in fact, are already the teacher. So sit with that, sit with that. Our third card is the inherited challenge. And we have the 8 of coins, such a fun way to see this card. The 8 of coins, the 8 of pentacles, comes in very many different manners. It all depends on your reading. The Eight of Coins is interesting because it is a moment in time when you have lost focus of what truly is real. So you can see how the challenge is, how can we separate what we see to the reality, what's actually happening? When we pull the next one, which is the lesson, we are pulling the moon. And the moon is beautiful because it is our dark side. It's usually the side that we don't want anybody to see, or a side of us that we're still working on. Let me pull the last card and then we'll weave these together because I can see where this is going. Our last card is the healing path, the blessing that our ancestors want to give us to move forward. And we've got the Fool. I love that for our last card. So let me go through this and we can look at this together. So we have our foundational card, which is the Star, that death, that destruction, and the rebirth of really getting to know who we are, the beauty of who we are, and actually letting it shine. Now we can do that by either finding a teacher, a way of life, or recognizing that we already have what we need in order to create that moment of the Star. The challenge with that is it'll be very easy to get bogged down with what we truly, some part of us, I should say, believes that we are feeling. If we recognize that we are the teacher, we'll remember that death and destruction, we become that star. So within that Eight of Coins, we have the moon, and the moon, as beautiful as it is, also can be very dark and can be very tunnel vision, where we forget that there is a sun that's about to shine. This is our dark side. What they're telling us here with the Fool is, can we begin each phase, each part of our journey in that full place, the place of where you're going to leap forward and you're not worried about anything. You don't have a care in the world. You don't even know if you're going to land. You don't even know where you're going to land. But can you start with that? So if we've had some crazy destruction, instead of falling prey to what that looks like in the moment, we use the teacher inside of us to recognize that we are just experiencing our dark side, the side that we're really wanting to work on and bring forth into the light. And in order to do that, we have to be willing to let go of what we think we know and come to it in a brand new light, open to seeing a new way. I hope this spread brought you some clarity and also some connection to your ancestral line. If you did the spread, if you have any comments, make sure to drop it below. And as always, celebrate and honor your past, enjoy today, and the promise of the magic of the future is with you always.